and that I wanted to leave to report in. She seemed a little dismayed that I was taking off after having just gotten partway through the tour. But she says, all right, and I came back to report. That brings us up to the present moment. I thought I'd better report before I forgot much of what went on. Reestablished contact with same female. She was quite surprised that I indeed did return. Pleased. At first, I began to wonder, what did this intelligence really look like to itself? Was I just imposing my own image of female humanoid form? And we discussed this, realizing that I was creating this image of her and could not really tell whether this was her own image of herself or not. She likewise was creating an image of me in a likeness to which she was familiar. And whether or not these likenesses were similar, mine and hers, there was no way to tell. So we left that question. Then I got an itch of some intensity began on my neck, and I tried to explain that I existed in another reality besides the one I was sharing with her, and that I had a physical body elsewhere, and that physical body had an itch on its neck and was disturbing the focus of my attention. And that's why I seemed to be fading in and out as my attention wavered. She seemed to think that was quite incredible. I don't believe she believed me at all. She just kind of ignored that statement like one might ignore somebody who says an irrational thing. I asked her about her physics. She took me to another place where there was another entity, this one male, and there was a writing surface, much like a blackboard, but not a blackboard, whereupon he attempted to explain the nature of things there. We had no success at all with his writing. The marks he was making on this surface, this blackboard, were totally unintelligible to me, and we, after a few efforts, gave up, tried to go to pictures. All the time we could communicate telepathically. Pictures were okay. He drew some pictures, and from the telepathic exchange, I felt that their science Indeed, their concept of their existence and of reality was in many ways similar to our own, in that they were fixed in that reality. They could not travel out of it as I had traveled out of physical matter reality into theirs. They seemed to believe that they were fixed in their reality and couldn't really travel out of it. I don't know whether they even believed that there was any other reality other than their own. They had a physical science much as we do, in that the objects in their reality obeyed very specific laws. I tried to see if any of their laws were similar to ours, such as gravitation. It was very difficult to tell. I couldn't separate what was there. Well, I couldn't find out what their concept of their reality was. All I could do was translate into my own concepts, meaning I did not see them floating around in air, but whether that was because they experience a thing called gravity like we do, or whether that was a function of my own experience visualizing humanoids not floating in the air, I could not tell.